We want to learn how to repent. To repent means to return. To return means to rediscover. To rediscover means to remember that we already know. We want to repent in order to receive forgiveness. To receive forgiveness means we have offended someone or something. To offend someone or something means that we've created a bad relationship. Now we want to repent and return. We want to heal the relationship. Where is the one that we offended? To who do we want to return? To where are we trying to repent? The one that we've offended is more here than we are. The one that we've offended resulted in us being less here. The one that we've offended is our own potential, the soul, the root, the force that is behind everything that we perceive, and yet it we cannot perceive. The part of us that we cannot perceive is a lot more powerful than the part of us that we can perceive. The part of us that we can perceive are just rays. It's a combination of rays shining from the part of us that we cannot perceive. The part of us that we can perceive is coming from somewhere that is infinitely bigger, deeper, more powerful than everything that we can perceive, everything that we have perceived combined. We're trying to repent to the part of us that we cannot perceive. Who is trying to repent? The part of us that we can perceive. The part of us that we can perceive has gone astray, has gotten lost, has forgotten the part of us that we cannot perceive, the infinitely more powerful part. To repent, to return, to gain forgiveness. Who is going to forgive? The part of us that we cannot perceive. Who are they going to forgive? The part of us that we can perceive. To repent is to unite all the projections that come forth from within the being. All the rays should shine in the language of the one who is shining them. There should be an understanding between the organs and the heart, so that the mind will project a vision to the soul that is pleasing to the soul, that creates more desire. What was the offense that we are asking should be forgiven? What offense did we commit? The first offense, that on it lean all the other offenses, is that we forgot the part of us that cannot be perceived. The forgetting, the distraction, allowing our mind to go into conflict with reality. This is the first offense. This is the root of all the offenses. This instructs the organs to be at conflict with each other, and as a result with reality itself. This creates distance between the part of us that cannot be perceived, which is grounded in reality, and the part of us that we perceive, which can be programmed in many different directions. And so the main offense is that we have forgotten. We've forgotten our own nature, we've forgotten who we are and what we stand for. We've forgotten our original intention. We got distracted. From that offense grow and come forth many offenses, many branches to this offense. Once we had forgotten, now we are open for all types of manipulations. We're not going to realize they're manipulations because we're no longer remembering. We're no longer attached to our root. We're no longer measuring with the attributes that we were attributed from beyond. We are forgiven, or when we are forgiven, the part of us that cannot be perceived starts entering the part of us that can be perceived. Suddenly the part of us that cannot be perceived is somehow creating emanations, creating rays that can be tasted by the part of us that we can perceive. The part of us that we can perceive somehow gains a taste of the part of us that we can't perceive while it's still in the body, while the body is listening to everything that's taking place within that soul. This can only happen once there's forgiveness. As long as there isn't forgiveness, the two sides of the soul are at conflict with each other. And so the experience that's visible to the soul is not pleasing to the soul, because the soul itself has separated from it. The will of the soul is not revealed. The will of the soul is buried within itself. It's hidden within the unknown part of the soul. The goal of our worship is to convince the hidden part of the soul to forgive the revealed part of the soul. This is the goal of all worship. All religions were designed for this purpose. None of them have succeeded so far to convince the invisible part of the soul to actually forgive. There was temporary success, but no successful attempt lasted so that humanity can know itself, know who they really are, not who they think they are. They don't know who they are because their soul is angry at them. This is why they need to repent. And they is we. They is us. They is I. I has offended the soul. I, as it represents itself in all humans. I has been measured so small, the soul wouldn't want to be itself if I was that. We need to repent. We need to discover the holiness of the soul. The soul will not be pleased in any other way. Even if we have everything the body could imagine, the soul will not be pleased to be someone that she wasn't designed to be. If the revealed part of the soul is not revealing the soul doesn't want to be it. And the soul only thinks that it is what it can perceive. The body only tells it that it is what it perceives. The invisible part of the soul that is infinitely more powerful than the visible, it's the source and the root of the visible. The visible is just a tiny ray of it. That invisible part of the soul, which is the entire soul, is not visible to the soul itself when it's embodied. It sees only what the body can present, and the body has been lied to. The body doesn't know the value of a soul. The body doesn't know the power of a soul. The body doesn't imagine the soul to be anything close to what it really is. And yet the soul believes the imaginations of the body. This is the contract. This is the entanglement. The body gets translated to the realm of concept and perception, and there it influences how the soul sees itself. The soul, the power of knowing, the intelligence that knows itself only through what was recorded in the body. But that's not who it is. Who it is invisible. It's something else entirely. It's something that can maintain a body. It's something that can animate trillions of cells all at once in order to have a united experience of the unity that resides in all the organs and in all the limbs and in all the parts and in all the functions. A unity that feels like one, and yet is manifested in so many. In order to receive forgiveness, in order to even be able to ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an idea. To ask for forgiveness is to recognize the nature of the crime. If the one who is asking for forgiveness has not recognized the nature of the offense, the asking for forgiveness itself is offensive. We're adding insult to injury. We're pretending like the thing itself doesn't matter. But to the soul, of course it matters. There's nothing that matters more than the amount of access we allow it to the body so that it can do its mission on earth. And so to ask for forgiveness starts with recognizing the nature of the offense. Something very offensive happened here. If you can understand what I'm saying, it means you speak English. If you speak English, something very offensive has happened to you. Your soul has been violated and degraded. Your soul requires you to repent to it. It wants to forgive you, but it cannot forgive you if you haven't recognized the nature of the crime. Because then the crime is being repeated, and the soul is not gaining access the way that it was designed in order to perform its mission. Its mission is to know itself from within the body. Its mission is to remember. Once she remembers, all the missions happen through her. But her mission, the one who knows itself, is just to remember. To remember the part of herself that she cannot perceive. That part is where we have a united soul that is at the root of all the worlds, that is the cause and the reason for everything that is. That's included in the soul on the side that we cannot perceive. The nature of a soul is that it's rooted and it's grounded in the greater soul, that is the soul of all souls. And so inside the part of my soul that I cannot perceive is the unity that is all the souls. If I go deep enough inside myself, I find a place where I am everyone. In the ancient ear, before it received any definition. From there I shine forth, and I become the specific ray that is articulating these words. And so forgiveness is from the depth of reality, where our minds have caused some type of conflict. From there we need forgiveness. From that conflict we need forgiveness. From that offense we need forgiveness. What is the offense, we might ask? The way the soul is being treated. That's the offense. And as long as we haven't recognized the depth of this offense, we cannot be forgiven. We cannot even ask for forgiveness. The deeper we go into the collective soul, the more easily everything is forgiven, because the collective soul wanted this process to come forth. And so the collective soul is not so traumatized by what is taking place. The ones who are more traumatized are the individual souls, they don't get to see the big picture like the collective soul. And so the offense against the soul is much more felt on the level of the individuals than it's felt as we go deeper into the collective, the source and the root that wanted all this to take place. Over there is complete forgiveness, because over there, everything that's taking place is part of the bigger plan that needs to play out. The more we come down closer to the manifested worlds, the more we come down closer to the areas of reality that we can perceive and interact with. Over there, the pain and the suffering causes conflict. And so this is what it means when it says we should cling to the divine, iladavka boy, to have dvekus. Dvekus means the manifested worlds cling to the unmanifest. The revealed clings to the unrevealed in order to receive forgiveness for what has been revealed. The greatness of the unrevealed is the source of forgiveness for everything that has been revealed. If the unrevealed were to reveal itself, everything would be forgiven. The question is if the bodies would be able to contain that level that is required in order to receive that forgiveness. The bodies that have been regulated by guilt will require a process before they can be regulated by joy, by clinging to the divine, which is their nature and their source. And this clinging is called lachzes b'noim Hashem, to see the sweetness of the divine, to taste the will of the source that desired all as it becomes revealed within the body. When that realization and that truth that is completely aligned with the will that's creating, when that spirit animates the body to get a taste of what that's like. No one has experienced it, but the tiny taste can completely transform the entire organism once it can understand who it's interacting with, once it can get a tiny glimpse of the magnitude of what it already received without any effort. From desire and pleasure came forth a being that is powered by the most precious existence in all the worlds. Angels, who represent all the parts of all of existence, from the stars to the realms of spirit, the realms of consciousness, all these angels, all the parts, all the worlds, all of them are somehow subservient to the soul. The soul is considered to be the son of the source. All the others are servants. The magnitude of the soul cannot be described in words. If we consider the soul to be as great as we imagine God to be, we still haven't begun. Obviously, God we cannot relate to at all. We cannot even imagine. But if whatever we think of God, we would think about our soul, it would still be insulting. We would still have to ask for forgiveness. The nature of the real is beyond our grasp. The offense that was caused was that we interpreted the soul to be at odds with the source. And therefore we made the soul small as we think we are making the source big. But the source and the soul are on the same side. Our minds, our imagination is on the other side. When the mind imagines the soul as something different than the source, as something at odds with the source, under any conditions, under any circumstances, that conflict that's happening in the mind is insulting to the soul. The soul doesn't want to see itself that way. It knows the truth. It's offended by the idea. The soul only wants to cling to the beyond. The soul of the individual wants to cling to the soul of the collective. That's where it receives its sustenance from, its existence. It wants to taste the sweetness of existence. The sweetness of existence is the sweetness of the one who desired existence. The conflict with existence makes the sweet bitter. Forgiveness makes the bitter sweet. The difficulty to forgive is because the damage is real. To forgive means that the soul is releasing its claim to the additional life that it never received. The offense made the soul live less. And to forgive, the soul has to forgive all the life it didn't live in order to receive the life it has now. In order to fully open up to being alive, the soul has to release its claim to all the life that wasn't lived. To the extent the soul hasn't released its claim, parts of the soul are still busy with the past, and therefore the present cannot be complete. If the present is not complete, the invisible part of the soul cannot be revealed into the visible part of the soul. The visible is in conflict, and the invisible is hidden. The rays shining forth from the life force are not fully accurate because not all of the life force is tuning in. Some of it is stuck in another narrative, it's stuck in another time, it's stuck in another place. That's because certain events, certain circumstances, certain experiences haven't been forgiven. The soul is not yet pleased with the realization that resulted in order to forgive. the soul does not feel that it gained from this experience enough wisdom that it should justify the suffering that was caused. It doesn't feel that the price that it paid in life has been justified by what it received as a result. And so it cannot yet forgive. If there will be a realization, if the soul will now be recognized as a result of these events, then the soul has gained enough and is ready to forgive. And so the awakening happens when the soul has realized its value enough that it outweighs all the events, all the circumstances that caused offense in the soul. The soul has to gain a certain value until that value outweighs the cost. The value of the soul, when it will live now, has become greater than the amount of life that was lost because of the offensive past.